Hi YouTube, this is Kristen Moonrise. Welcome back to my channel. I am a light worker and astrologer, among many other things, musician, data scientist, philosopher, other stuff too, but that is pretty much what how I identify on YouTube. So again, I am still recording on this tablet of mine because I broke something on my other computer where I can't use the editing software. So I'm just going to use this and go along with not having edited videos. So we're just going to go super candid. So bear with me here. So in my previous video with the summer solstice, I pulled this freedom card, and a lot of times we talk about freedom as far as time and scheduling and what we give our energy to and stuff like that. That's true. And essentially, that is what I'm talking about here. If you don't know, I have an MBA, and one of my favorite things to have studied and that I have implemented in the workplace is a lot of things from the organizational behavior category. So that's definitely psychology, it's definitely communication and things like that. So I kind of wanted to talk about that because I see this kind of recurring with a lot of women. And in this particular case, I'm going to talk about how this affects women kind of really in the workplace, in the family dynamic, and certain things. But when we get triggered by other women, in fact, I'll just go ahead and talk about a particular situation that happened a long time ago at work, where essentially I gave a deadline to the different units that worked under me, under my unit, and three of the four gave me back the scheduled reports that is expected year after year on time. But the fourth unit did not give me their report in enough time, and this dealt with people's payments that needed to go through. So if they missed the payment, then they would miss getting paid, and their people that worked under them would have gotten upset because they didn't turn it into us. Long story short. So I ended up, asking the lady that worked in that unit, hey, what's going on here? We really need this report done. I mean, I'm okay if you don't submit your people's pay, but they may not be so okay with you. She completely blew up with me on that, and it turned into this big thing where like her boss was involved and my boss was involved. Her boss ended up having to apologize and say, okay, I totally understand. My apologies that this was not done, and he did it in he did it in place of her. So after that, this lady really like was burned by this for some reason. She really took this to heart. It really turned her. She was so triggered by this, and every time we would interact over email, she would try to like always catch me, always try to like catch me in doing something wrong. And I say, well, according to policy, this, that, and the other. According to policy, this is how it's done. According to policy, according to policy. I never made it personal. I always say according to policy. And eventually, she ended up simmering down. But after that initial blow up thing, she ended up, when I was a little bit more active on LinkedIn, I saw where I had looked on my LinkedIn and it said so and so has viewed your profile. So I was in her head, and I triggered her so much that she was sending these, very terse emails and looking me up on LinkedIn and all these things. And the degree that she was getting, the data science degree, was a degree that I had already gotten. So, and then I trained her when she was first hired there. So, to her, I probably felt like I was, she wanted to be on the same level as me, but she got embarrassed that she dropped the ball on that deadline. Well, I can't really do anything about that. But I've seen this in so many other different female dynamics where we are really not free in our minds. We are not giving ourselves freedom. We have trapped ourselves, and we have made other people the main focus on our actions, and they are driving our actions. And this is really important to really understand your triggers and realize that you are triggered. And it's perfect time for you to really dig in deep and say, what about this person that's really triggering for me, and what is it about me that doesn't feel adequate, where I feel like I've got to do all these extra things and extra things. I've got to like plan it out, and I'm going to go home and I'm going to and think about how to catch this person in a lie. How can I look better to my boss? How can I look superior? You're not really free. You're making your whole life about them. And what I've definitely learned over the years is to completely like step back. Like with that lady I mentioned, I always cited policy as why I do the things that I do since before she even started working there at that time. So, um, you really have to really just like put a boundary up if you're that person, if you were the me in that situation. But if you're the her in that situation, I would say definitely look deep into what is it that you are being triggered by. And I think it's best to not feed into that energy, because then it'll create something they're looking for, a reaction from you. And it's really a shame because this is what you see in like middle school and in high school and things like that. But of course, we all know it travels into the workplace too. Um, so that's pretty much what I wanted to say. Oh, there was actually something else I wanted to say. So, um, I mentioned tactics and strategies and how can you beat this person and how can you, make yourself look better and how can you make them look worse. Those are business terms that we use, tactics, strategies, and things like that. But thinking about this topic, it made me remember that in business school, we got our terms from the military. So tactics and deployments and strategies and, forming your plan and all these things like that, that's wartime military type thinking and planning. And so, are you really giving yourself freedom, or are you trapping yourself in a battle that only you are playing in? So, I think the best thing to do with people like that is to remind them by removing your energy, and remind them that they are the only ones playing the game. Don't feed into the energy. Don't try to outsmart them, because that is only going to give them more to feed off of. You've got to starve them of your energy, and so that way they are having to face themselves on their own. The thing is that they don't want to face themselves, and you have to remember that you're free and they are not. So you've got to force them out of that bondage that they've put themselves in so they can become free themselves. And if you happen to be that person, you've really got to really focus on your triggers. Ask yourself, why are you not allowing yourself to be free? Why are you, why are you allowing that? Why are you occupying your brain with thoughts of this other person? So that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I just kind of wanted to give a slightly different thing to talk about, but that freedom card actually kind of made me think of that situation. And I like to kind of talk about a lot of other different things, as they will perhaps become relevant in the future. But I hope that this message resonated with you. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Check me out on my website and my course listing, which will continue to grow. And yeah, so let me know in the comments what you thought. Again, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.